We should probably get through this before we get struck by lightning. Welcome back, everyone. Dan and Leslie here for another Disney dining review.
Yes, so today we are headed to Disney Springs and we're going to Paddlefish. I'm a little conflicted about this dining review because we've actually tried Paddlefish a couple of times. We used to love Fulton's Crab House. There's always been like lack of service at Paddlefish.
If you are not familiar, right in the heart of Disney Springs in the landing, Paddlefish is the restaurant that is inside of that big paddle boat, the Empress Lily, I think it's called. When we first started going to Disney, it was Fulton's Crab House, which was incredible. We loved it. We went there every single time. And then when it switched over, it just didn't hit the mark. Like, they did a fabulous job updating the restaurant itself. Fulton's Crab House was really dark and like had a lot of like dark, like stained woods inside.
Yeah.
But one thing to note before we get to the actual restaurant, if you go and you want to just experience the boat without having to eat in the restaurant, you can take the outside staircase all the way up to the top, and there's a rooftop bar there, which is fabulous. We've been there several times. You don't have to check in or anything. Just walk up there, order a drink at the bar. You can lounge in one of the chairs outside. It's supposed to rain today, so I'm not sure we'll go up there. But if it's nice, especially in the evening, like if you're waiting on a dining reservation to pop up,
Yeah, it's a great place to go. As far as the menu goes, it looks incredible, but it's very overwhelming. I have no idea what they're going to recommend. I mean, because the amount of different categories they have, you have like your starters that has anything from beef skewers to like some, crab cakes, calamaris, crab-topped fries. But then you go into the steamed section. So you've got like your crab legs and your lobster. Or you go into your chilled seafood and raw bar. So you've got ahi poke, shrimp cocktail, crab ceviche. And then there's the main category that's your stuffed cod, your lobster, your salmon, your pasta, your chicken, your filet mignon, or you have sandwiches. So
I'm anxious to go back and see if they have improved, because the first time we went here was like right after they opened.
Oh yeah.
And so I can understand like the service being not so great there. And then we went back with some friends about a year later, and it was better, not great.
Great, yeah.
So I guess we'll find out.
So here we go.
Let's do it. All right, so we were seated in a wide open, empty space. It's beautiful in here. It's at the aft or back of the ship. Aft, right?
Yeah.
Not a sailor.
But so we're right by the big old paddle, which is kind of cool. So we can kind of see bits and pieces of Disney Springs, but mostly the paddle. But it's a nice room. It's completely empty. We're the only ones in here.
We asked what the recommended drinks were for. You wanted something
refreshing, and he recommended the Captain Handsome, which is vodka, muddled fresh raspberries, a framboise thyme, and a house sour.
And I wanted something strong, and he recommended the Not Everyone's Margarita, which has jalapeno in it, and it's a mix of tequila and mezcal, so we will see.
Cheers. Oh, that is very good and refreshing.
What does it taste like?
Raspberries. I'm getting like a little sour, like some lime.
Oh, it's a little sour. That's very good.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely raspberries and some lime, like that sour note.
Yeah.
But the raspberry kind of sweetens it out. Not everyone's margarita. The salt is on one side here, which is interesting. There's blackberry. I was not expecting it to be blackberry. It's very good. So it's actually similar to yours with a little bit of spice and a little bit of smoke. It's got the same sour mixture with the jalapeno and blackberry. That's
very good.
It's got that sweet, smoky, and then that salt, if you get that, with a little hint of spice. That is very tasty as well. These are two very good drinks.
Very good, very good.
The appetizer was delivered really fast. Of course,
Yes.
there's no one else here, so. But super good service so far. I'm very impressed.
Hey.
So we've got a crab cake on top of a fried green tomato on top of this corn stuff.
Mag Chow or something.
That is fantastic. The crab cake is super light and fluffy, and it's really thick, and so it's just like solid crab in there, and it tastes really, really good. That may be one of the best crab cakes. It's not like overly crispy.
And it's not overly crabby. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does, but there's a lot of crab in it.
Yes. Like, but it's it's not like a real fishy taste. It's like it's very well seasoned. So, and the fried green tomato underneath is fantastic. Now, I'm not sure that it beats the fried green tomatoes at Chef Art Smith's.
But the crab cake does.
But the crab cake, well, we didn't have a crab cake.
Okay. I am very excited.
I am too. This looks so good.
So I got the crab cake BLT, which he almost didn't suggest because we got the crab cake appetizer, but I'm so glad he did because this looks amazing. It is basically a crab cake with bacon, lettuce, and tomato. So that looks fabulous. Comes with chips. And Leslie, you got the?
I got the fish tacos, which is a combination of whitefish and salmon, which is interesting because not a lot of people like combine the two different types of fish. So I'm very excited. There's like some slaw. I just squeezed some lime over it.
Man, that looks good.
That is very good.
Can I try that?
When you get fish tacos, you sometimes worry that it's going to be too fishy, right? Like the fish flavor is just going to be so strong and overwhelming that it's not going to be that enjoyable. But it's so subtle, and the fish is cooked excellently. It's very flaky. The slaw is really, really good, and it doesn't have like an overwhelming flavor.
What I like about it is that it's not too dry. A lot of fish tacos are really dry, especially the fish. But the amount of slaw and sauce on there really evens that fish out nicely. Crab cake BLT.
Good.
So it's a regular BLT, but the bread, that ciabatta bread or whatever, fantastically fresh. And the thickness of the crab cake, this is great.
That is so good.
I think we are going to skip dessert this time. I know.
Oh, we're kind of full.
We're full, we each got an entree, and there's these chips are fabulous. If you want a dessert here, they do have a chocolate cake, a chocolate chip cookie sundae, a cheesecake, and a key lime pie, and then some sort of anniversary flan thing.
Which all sound great, however, none of them like just seem like over the top
Like a specialty,
special.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
So we are gonna wrap up. I think.
Cheers.
Oh, cheers.
Cheers.
It is a little wet out there.
Yes, it is.
Before we get to the review, if you would like help planning your next trip to the most magical place on Earth, please let us know. We would love to help. We have moved to Orlando to start a travel agency focusing on Disney and Universal Vacations. Take it away.
Yes, so you can reach us at fantasticalvacations.com. We have our agents on our Meet Our Agent page, or you can just fill out a quote request and we can connect you with somebody fabulous.
Yeah, we got set in this wide open dining room that had all kinds of tables, and we were the only ones in there for at least 25 minutes, which was fabulous. And even when we left, there were only 2 other tables.
Yeah.
I really like the fact that they set us at a table for 4. I didn't see, I don't remember if I saw any tables of just 2.
I don't think I did.
Which is nice because some of these restaurants will try to cram you into like little walkways on a table of 2 that's just like this little tiny little rectangle, and it's just uncomfortable, and you've got people passing you. Okay, so let's talk theming and ambiance.
Yes.
So what do you think?
Well, so the theming and ambiance is the boat. And while it is a lovely restaurant inside, it's a boat. So it's inside, you don't really feel like you are on a paddle boat necessarily, unless you are in the aft of the boat, like
and you
we
can
were.
See the paddles.
See the paddles. So we gave it a 3.5. So I mean, it was great. It was lovely. It's a beautiful restaurant, but the theming is just not like over the top or anything.
The outside is cool, but inside is just a normal restaurant. There's no over the top theming or anything.
Right.
So I think it's a little above average because it is on the boat, but it's not that much above average. So yeah. 3.5.
Yeah. Service, on the other hand, I went into this very tentative and probably highly critical because of the experiences that we've had in the past at Paddlefish, and our server was fantastic.
He was great.
He did a great job.
He made recommendations. All of them were on point. The drinks came out fast. The appetizer came out fast. The entrees were a little bit slower, but still fine. I mean, they weren't fast, but they weren't slow by any means.
He checked on us frequently.
Yeah, and I think it was great. Like, they totally redeemed themselves from the previous times when the service has been hit or miss. Now, to your point, it could be the fact that we may have been his only table for a solid 30 minutes.
That's fair.
So there was no one else in that dining room, so he didn't really have a whole lot else to do.
Yeah.
But I think the service was great. I mean, just the quality of everything was spot on. So we gave it a 4. So just a step back about our rating system here. So a 3 for us. I know people are like, oh, if it gets below a 3, it stinks. That's not necessarily true. A 3 is average compared to all of the restaurant experiences that we have had in the past, just from being, quote unquote, the Disney people like that we are. Like, 3 is average. So anything above a 3 is above average.
So drinks are next. So we got, in all fairness, we got the drinks that he recommended to us, and then we also each got a beer. And the drinks were fine. My cocktail was light. It was refreshing. It was flavorful. It was probably not something.
Can you hear the thunder?
Yeah. I don't know that I would go back and buy the same drink for $16.
It was a good drink.
It was.
They were both good drinks. There was nothing over the top on the drinks, but they were good. They were pretty much the same drink, but they were called completely different things.
Yeah.
So mine was a margarita. It was made with the exact same sour mix that Leslie's was made with, and yours was I forget what yours was called, but they were both made with the sour mix. Mine had tequila and mezcal. Yours had vodka, and mine was a blackberry, and I think yours was cranberry.
Raspberry.
Raspberry. I'm not sure there was a whole lot of creativity there. It was basically just the same drink, just a little different twist on there, but they were good. 3.5 stars.
Yep.
We should probably get through this before we get struck by lightning inside. So let's wrap this thing up with food. The food was actually really, really tasty.
It was. We chose not to get a dessert this time around because none of the desserts really just seemed to be like a wow factor.
The quality of the crab cake was super, super good. It was just fall apart, but it was not like falling apart. You know what I mean? Like as soon as you cut into it and you take that bite, it was soft. It was not overly crabby, but there was a ton of crab in it, and it was super thick. Like, that crab cake was thick. It was the same thing on the crab BLT. It was very, very good. And we said in the restaurant, but your fish tacos, they were not dry like some fish tacos are. There was plenty of sauce, and that slaw was really good.
Yeah.
Everything was really, really well done. Come here, buddy.
He's so nervous. It's okay.
He does not like the lightning and thunder.
He does not like the storms. Okay, so all in all, that is a 3.5 for ambiance, a 4 for service, a 3.5 for drinks, and a 4 for food. So we're rating it at about a 3.75, which I think is pretty. It's a little higher than I would have expected to rate it going in.
3.75 is really good for a table service restaurant at Disney, and I was not expecting to give this a 3.75. Had I given it a rating based off of our previous experiences, it might have maybe have gotten a 3, like average.
Maybe.
This is a solid option, I would say, and even based off today, I mean, it was a rainy day, there wasn't a ton of people at Disney Springs, but you could have walked up and probably gotten seated pretty easily there.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to know if and when we go back and it's busier, if the service declines as we've seen in the past.
And then we mentioned it before, but check out that rooftop bar, whether or not you eat here, that rooftop bar is really cool because of the views, because of the location on the Empress Lily, like right in the heart of Disney Springs on the water, and you're up like 3 stories on top of that thing.
Especially at night.
Especially at night. It's really, really cool. So like we've been like we'll have a reservation for Morimoto Asia, and we'll get there like an hour early or something and just be walking around, and we'll just run up there, grab a drink, and spend 45 minutes hanging out on that bar, and it's fantastic.
Yeah. All right.
Well, anything else?
I don't think so. So until next time.
We will see you on the next video.